There you are. Now you have, yes, she had 10. And if you start singing at 9, I'm going to. Are you going to sing?
No.
Okay.
No, that would be scary. Eldonna Fernandez, Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, retired. Bring it in. As I said, yes, yeah, Air Force, that's right, go Air Force. As I said yesterday, I'm a retired Air Force Master Sergeant. Where's my veteran brothers and sisters? Woo! Give them a round of applause. I want to say thank you for your sacrifice. It's a little bit different than thank you for your service. You did what only about 4% of the population does at any given time, and you sacrificed for our country, for our freedom, to be able to stand up here or to come to an event like this. There's countries where you couldn't even gather like this. So I just want to, from one veteran to another, say thank you for your sacrifice. So you heard a little bit about my story yesterday. I had a pretty rough childhood, and I came in the Air Force because I thought it was an adventure, sounded like a new way of life for me. And I stumbled into the contracting career field, and I ended up staying for 23 years as a contracts manager and negotiator in the Air Force, and then another 7 years for the defense industry. So basically I have 30 years of leadership, management, and contracts negotiation experience, and like I said, I can negotiate the paint off a wall. So I'm going to give you a few tips about how you can do better in your negotiation. First of all, let's talk a little bit about what negotiation really is. It's basically just discussions to agree on a deal. Whether it's a multi-million-dollar deal or where to meet for dinner, it's all negotiation. We negotiate each and every day of our lives, both personally and professionally. Anybody here have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody ever seen a kid? Yeah, kids are, if you have kids, that's a great place to get some good negotiation training. However, do not be a negotiation expert and teach your kids how to negotiate. So one of the power questions I teach people to ask when somebody says, I don't know, is, well, if you did know, what would the answer be? Yeah. So one day my son asked me a question, and I said, well, son, I don't know. And he said, well, Mom, if you did know, what would the answer be? Oh, no. So be careful who you teach how to negotiate. So negotiation, the number one thing you need to be a good negotiator is confidence. Confidence comes from within. It comes from your inner game. And sometimes you have to do some things to work on the inner game, get rid of some of the stuff from the past. Like I talked about a lot of the stuff from my past. Had a rough childhood, a lot of abuse. Unfortunately, experienced sexual assault in the military, but I've done a lot of work to get past that, and I no longer carry that mess. So you have to work on your inner game to get that confidence level. But there's some other things that you need to do. One thing you need to do is you need to get some training. You need to get training to be a good negotiator. And aside from coming to my Think Like a Negotiator live training, one of the best places you can go, and actually you can start this weekend, go out to a yard sale or a swap meet. One of the best places to get negotiation training, because nobody ever expects to get what they ask for, and that's an awesome place for you to take some time to think about it, go up and think what you're going to offer, and start haggling with people. And if you feel uncomfortable with it, unfortunately, that's what training's about. You have to train to push through that discomfort, because you're not going to be able to flip a light switch and become an expert. Too many people want to flip a light switch. I've been doing the speaking thing for a while, and it's like, oh wow, you're an overnight success. Yeah, several-year overnight success. You have to continue to train your skills to get good at something. So don't think that you're just going to go out there if you don't have any experience in negotiating and bam, flip a light switch, I'm going to be an instant negotiator. You have to do different things to train your skills. And that's why I suggest for people to start by going to a yard sale or a swap meet. You don't want to do it before you sit down at the table, and that's where you're starting to train your skills. Another thing you need to do is prepare in advance. Prepare when? In advance. Obviously, you don't want to, like I said, sit down at the table and here's where you're going to start your preparation for your negotiation. You want to take the time whatever it is, to do some research, to find out a little bit about maybe the person you're having a discussion with, or the company you're having a discussion with. If you're going for a job interview, you want to find out about the company. Maybe you want to find out something about the person that you're going to be sitting down with for the interview, if you know about them. Find out what kind of affinity you have with them. Do all that in advance of going in, because if you're prepared in advance and they start throwing questions at you, be like, yeah, I prepared for that. You may not be able to prepare for everything, but at least you'll be able to prepare, have some answers that you can respond to. Great example of that, let's talk about a colossal fail and an awesome success. Colossal fail, how many of you remember Shannon Faulkner and the Citadel incident back in 1995? Anybody? So Shannon Faulkner wanted to go to the Citadel Military College. At that point, the Citadel was 100% male, and it had been for over 100 years, and she wanted to go to the college, and she was denied. Well, she went to court and filed a petition in court, and she won the right to go into the college. So she shows up at the college, and she's there for half a day. She's there for actually a total of 5 days. She made it half a day through the first part of the initiation, and the other 4.5 days she spent in the infirmary. Why? She was not prepared in advance. She wasn't in good shape. She was not prepared, first of all, for the normal mental stuff that goes on with going to a college like that. Then she wasn't prepared for, okay, a woman bucking a system that's been all male. She wasn't prepared for that, all the hate that came her way. And then she wasn't prepared for all the death threats and all the things that came through the media. She wasn't prepared for any of that. Colossal fail. Total failure. Now, since that time, I think some 300 women have gone through the Citadel, and I think recently the top 2 grads were women, which was a great stand for women all around. But what about her? That was her dream. She didn't prepare for that. You have to prepare in advance for negotiation or whatever you're doing. Well, let's talk about an awesome success. You saw the video yesterday about Eldonna from the band Journey. He started singing when he was 5 years old. His mother encouraged him to sing, and he sang for years and years and years. When he was 13, his mother died, and he was on the streets for a couple of years, and he started singing to make money. And then he actually got into a band and started recording some songs. He wrote some songs, he was performing and singing, and it just wasn't going anywhere. But he sang, and he was kind of like, gosh, this is my dream, but it's not really going anywhere. Well, one of his friends put about 80 videos, which is the video that Neil Sean from Journey saw, contacted him, brought him in for an audition. He had prepared from the time he was 5 years old all the way up to be able to walk into that. Awesome success. So you can see the difference between non-preparation and being prepared. You want to make sure that you prepare in advance. So one other tip I'll leave with you is a great one in negotiation. It's stop talking.
Yeah.
Feel that uncomfortable silence? Silence is the biggest leverage maker in negotiation. If you can be comfortable with the discomfort of silence, you can have so much. He or she who speaks next loses. So you don't want to be the one to speak next in a negotiation. When you're going back and forth and you finally get down to it, and this is even making an offer to somebody. You want somebody to come into your program or buy your product. You offer them something and then you just get quiet. You just sit there and look at it. And you don't say anything. I don't have time to tell the whole story, but I returned a car for my sister, using the stop talking thing. Me and the guy were going back and forth, and he slams the folder, and he was like, I'm upset. And I'm like, I'm already upset, and I just stared at him. She had signed the paperwork and everything, tore up the papers and left. You can use the power of silence to leverage so much in negotiation. If you can get comfortable with that discomfort, man, the sky's the limit. Those are just a couple tips from my book, Think Like a Negotiator, 50 Ways to Create Win-Win Results by Understanding the Pitfalls to Avoid. I'd like for everybody to come out to the blue carpet out there and get a photo. And we can do some group photos, we can do some funny photos, we can just have fun on the blue carpet, and I'm going to post those on Facebook. Also get some information about my upcoming Think Like a Negotiator live training, which is coming up October 9th, 10th, and 11th in San Diego. It's an all-experiential training. I have games, theme-based games, like I have a yard sale game in my training. So you're put into situations where you have to negotiate. And I guarantee that you will be a better negotiator than when you came in, and also better in your personal life, because we deal with a lot of different things. I may not have my pink biker chick Go Pink brand out here, but we go a little pink in the training room. So the power of pink is still upon us. So even though I'm in blue, one quick thing, when I was supposed to speak yesterday, and I didn't have an extra blue suit, so I was like, oh my gosh, I can't be filmed wearing a darker color dress that I have. So I went down to Macy's and negotiated a $280 suit for $89, and I'm wearing it now. So definitely, you can negotiate anything, and everything's negotiable when you think like a negotiator. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Thank you, Eldonna. Eldonna is great. She's been